Yeah, she now rocking with Mr. Wit. A little flavor from QBeats, you know that this a hit. Michael Jackson bad, yeah, this is it. A few months ago I was about to call it quits, until I came across personalized math tutoring. FBT, the #1 solution. So what you waiting on? Everything is online.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? This is Mr. Witt with Fort Bend Tutoring, and we have another episode of FBT News for June 2013. So the first thing I want you to do, ladies and gentlemen, is participate with us by subscribing. That's right. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel, all right? We really appreciate that. That gives us motivation to bring you more free math tutorials, ladies and gentlemen. And I also want to go ahead and thank all of you that have been donating. That really helps us push on to bring you more free math tutorials from Fort Bend Tutoring, FBT. So check me out. I got my sun rays in there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm in Houston, Texas, and it's getting hotter and hotter, so I know it's summertime. Okay, so what we want to talk about for this episode of FBT News, June 2013, is our calculator recommendations. That's right. So for many of you, you're going to summer school, whether it be that you have to make up a class or you're trying to get ahead in the class. Hopefully that's the case. Or you're just going through summer school, for instance, if you're in college, going to a university, and you're just knocking out your courses that you need to take, especially in mathematics. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you may need a recommendation of what calculator to purchase. So here are my tips. For any math student from 7th grade on up, I would strongly recommend one of the Texas Instruments calculators. Well, for one, we're from Texas, so we're representing our clique, right? And then on top of that, these calculators are proven, especially in many different school districts. And not only that, if you purchase a graphing calculator for a student in 7th grade, that one calculator can carry them all throughout their high school years as well as their college years. So it's a one-time purchase that you can go ahead and grab hold of, and then as long as they're being mindful not to lose it, then hey, you won't need to replace that equipment ever. All right, so these are my first recommendations for a math student from 7th grade all the way up. A graphing calculator from Texas Instruments, and these are the model numbers. So you can either get the TI-84, the TI-84 Plus, or the TI-84 Plus Platinum Edition. Any of these three graphing calculators will be perfect for any math student, ladies and gentlemen. So that's the first tip I wanted to give you about graphing calculators and just getting a calculator in general. Get that one calculator and it'll be able to be used for any course from that point forward. All right, so that's the first thing. All right, next up, we have the TI-89. Now the TI-89 is a recommendation that I have, but it's only needed for those students that are in pure science type classes, really high level math. If you're good in programming, you want to be able to integrate and derive. You want to do calculus operations on the calculator, then the TI-89 will take you far because it's programmable and you'll be able to do a lot of different things with it. So that is a recommendation for those type of students, the TI-89. And once again, the TI stands for Texas Instruments, and we are talking about calculators here. Then finally, we have the ti-nspire. A lot of school districts are starting to use the Inspire in the school districts, and I always prefer for a student to be able to have and hold the same calculator that they're using in the classroom. So if that school district is using the TI-nspires from Texas Instruments, then by all means get a TI-nspire. You got it. So I have a TI-nspire, just to let you know which calculator I use. All right, but mine's an older model. So the newer models have all kind of fancy color screens and stuff like that. So TI-nspire is a good calculator to use. So those are the recommendations for calculators for math students, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, those first three calculators I showed you, the TI-84, the TI-84 Plus, and the TI Platinum Edition, those calculators are what most students can use and would need throughout their academic careers. Okay, so just letting you know that you don't have to get fancy with the TI-89 or the TI-nspire unless you fit those conditions that I set out before you. All right, so there you go. Let's see what's next. The next thing I wanted to tell you about is the Wolfram Alpha app. I know you can get this app through the App Store if you have Apple products. However, it may be also available on Android, and I'm really thinking that it is. All right, so if you have the Wolfram Alpha app, then you have more access to more math tools that you can use to solve problems. And the Wolfram Alpha app, it can do calculus, trigonometry, all types of things. So it becomes a great tool to have in your math classes so you can double check your work, so you can ensure that you're doing things the right way. There's an icon there for Wolfram Alpha, and you just click on that, and there you go. All right, so just saying, you can go ahead and put in whatever type of math problem you want into this, ladies and gentlemen, and go from there, and it'll just help you out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here I have this question here. I'm asking it to factor 2x squared minus 8. Let's see what it does for us. Go ahead and click on go, and there you go, ladies and gentlemen, check it out. All right, so just to give you a better idea, let me go ahead and bring it up for you. I simply told it to factor 2x squared minus 8. It gave me the representation of it, and then it gave me the final result, and it factored out the GCF and factored the difference of two squares, as it should. And in addition to that, it graphed it. Check that out. All right, so notice, ladies and gentlemen, I did do a video earlier on Siri. Siri uses Wolfram Alpha servers in order to answer many of the math problems that you can throw at Siri. So just letting you know that it's the same service, or the same service, but you can just go directly there instead of going through Siri if you have a lot of computations to do. So Wolfram Alpha, the app, is a great app to have. Just letting you know, ladies and gentlemen, Wolfram Alpha. Go ahead and check that out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so that's going to do it for this month's FBT news. As always, please rate, comment, and subscribe. And as always, we'll see you next month with a new FBT news. This is Mr. Witt with Forbidden Tutoring. Peace.
So what you waiting on? Everything is online. Just hit the website, they even got FaceTime. Subscribe to the YouTube, request the video. Watch your math skills go from alright to incredible. They got math, got algebra, got geometry, pre-cal, calculus, can't forget trigonometry.